What up? Welcome in everybody to Profit Picks. We always start the show by being transparent. Yesterday, I uh I lost on Celtics team total under 105 and a half. Pretty annoyed with that loss. That did make it a losing day. I had a winner on the Rockets. Should have been like a 5% on the Rockets, really. I didn't trust them as much as the Lakers to do a 5%, so I bet them 3%, but it was easy the whole game. Um Overnight tennis was not a success. 0-2. So bad day and need to be better here today. Vino, hopefully you did a little better than me yesterday.
Well, I did go 1-0 Ski, but I kind of kicked myself for not being involved in every capacity. I mean, we talked them through yesterday, and I just couldn't get there with Orlando plus points, although I thought that was pretty good.
Man,
And
I
I,
screwed that up.
yeah, that they were there the whole way. And then we talked about it yesterday. I just thought that downward movement in the Cleveland total was wrong. 215.5 down to 212. And sure enough, it's another over. Miami does cover, but they had to
Right.
score a bunch to do so because they couldn't stop the other side. So the winner, as you mentioned, I should have been stronger on because Houston was easy. I had Houston first half, actually left it here with the chat yesterday afternoon. They cruised all the way through that particular game. So we'll see if we can. I mean, the run is the run. And, you hear a lot of gamblers that'll tell you when you're hot, you should just keep pressing. And I kind of drew back the winnings from the day before and said, let's be cautious today. Paid up. I mean, we're 1-0. I'm not complaining, but I could have been a little better.
Yeah, we talked about Miami. I was leaning Miami. I didn't get there. I was set Magic or under, and I put them together instead of taking the Magic. So could have been a much better day, but it also could have been worse. So we'll keep it moving on to today. We got three games to talk about. We're going rotation order. Knicks, Pistons. Not much movement on the side at all. The total is 216 and a half currently. Nobody on the injury report for the Knicks. Stewart is game time. Ivy is out for the Pistons. Knicks got punched got punched back, I guess I'd say, from the Pistons. Looked like they learned their lesson. They didn't give up the lead once they got it. But the Knicks have to feel a little bit embarrassed, losing as a favorite at home like that. So losing home court advantage. So to see this as a pick 'em, it's pretty interesting. Um, I'm a big K fan. I love his game, but I just have a feeling that New York is gonna take the ball out of K's hands, where they got to double him or do whatever. And I think that New York, is really motivated after losing that game yesterday. So I'm leaning towards the Knicks side. Do you like the Knicks?
I don't think I like the side either way, Ski, because I don't want to bet into what's going to be a frenzied atmosphere in Detroit. First playoff game in forever. You could take it two ways. You could, if you're pro Detroit, you say, man, this atmosphere is going to be great. Detroit's going to come out firing. Or you could take it the other way and say it's a young team that maybe comes out too enthused and doesn't get it right off the bat, where the Knicks are a little more veteran going out on the road. So side, I didn't particularly take an interest in, but I did play this game, and I played what I think I trust the most in this series, and that's the Detroit offense. Their team totals 107.5. They get to 112 in the first game, and in the fourth quarter, they hardly score. They just fell apart at the seams and still got to 112. Game two, they do win. They get to 100, but they do that despite the fact that they go 6 for 27 from three, only shoot 22% and still get to 100 points. I don't know that the Knicks can stop this offense from what I've seen over the course of 8 quarters, unless Detroit does it themselves. They play with tremendous pace. We've had, I know, a lot of varied talks about Dennis Schroeder in the past, depending upon what team he's on, right? But ever since they acquired him at the All-Star break, it's like when Cade has to go to the bench, Detroit's tempo almost increases with Schroeder. They're just go, go, go all the time. You're going to get opportunities to score with this team. They seem to be quicker than the Knicks. They shot 34 free throws in, and I know a lot of those free throws are because it's close at the end of game and Knicks are fouling to try and catch up. but still 34 free throws is a lot of free throws. They're averaging 27 in this series. I have to believe that at home, the pace is going to be there. They're going to play their way. I know the Knicks want to go slow, but you can only go slow for so often. If you get behind, that slow stuff has to go out the window. Slow is great when you're ahead by 10 and you can walk up the floor. In fact, I saw a couple of reports here today where there's some New York concern about Jalen Brunson in game 2, just basically on offense, dribbling out the shot clock down to like 6 before anything even happens. So we'll see if they try and correct that off of a loss tonight. But to get back to what I said in the first sentence here, I think the thing I trust most is the Detroit offense. Total's gone up a little bit full game. Doesn't surprise me. But I think over 107, I think Detroit gets to 108 here off of what I've seen so far.
What was the number? 108?
Well, the number's 107.5, so I need 108.
Okay. I can understand that. I still have that Knicks -1.5 series bet, so I don't even really need to bet this game, honestly. I need the Knicks to win already. So Mike R says, I'm taking whatever Veno's leaning.
I tell you, one other thing I missed there is anybody who's watched, I mean, it's incredible to see Tobias Harris playing the way he's playing after that Philly stint where they basically ignored him for 3 years. And the Detroit plus 14 rebound edge game 2, a lot of second chance points. If I like a lot about the way they can score against this particular team.
All righty, let's keep going. Thunder and Grizzlies. And man, do we really got to say much here? I mean, total did go up 226 to 229. Side went up 1 point, but I mean, I've seen enough. I don't even care about the situation. I don't care about anything. The Grizzlies, is no way they're getting a penny of my money. We've talked about, I mean, the coach, he has no clue what to do. The offense is now completely just trash, just ISO who can create for themselves. And the defense is non-existent. I don't see a complete 360 against this OKC team. OKC has been the team to win by margin all year long. They had the biggest point differential, right? So I think OKC can win this game by double digits. It's the only way for me to look.
I would not disagree, Skee. And I think if you go farther back in the series history, I saw this morning that Oklahoma City has beaten this team by 13 or more, either 6 or 8 straight times. This matchup doesn't work for Memphis whatsoever. The only thing Memphis can do is try and score more, because I think we said it the other day, they can't stop Oklahoma City from scoring. They just can't. They're not good enough defensively, and the other side has as many weapons as anybody in the NBA. So you put those two things together and you figure out Oklahoma City's going to score. And you know what? They're scoring without even shooting well. 46.8% from the field for OKC. You would think it's like 55 or something the way they're scoring. God forbid they have a good shooting night. They'll probably get 130. The one thing I liked here, Skee, and I'm going to trust it, it hasn't come through in the first 2 games. And you know what? I had to stop myself because I just would have said something that would have gotten KC fired up. So I'll change the way I'm going to word this.
We don't got to worry about KC today. If you know, you know. Somebody got a spanking last night. You're not going to be seeing no KC around
here. I always bring to the table my potential points scored.
Yes.
493 in game 1, 496 in game 2, and they're not scoring any of them. A lot of it's due to Memphis, but OKC hasn't done their part either, really, and they've still gotten to 131 and 118. I see the total here at 228.5, and I tell myself one of these games is going to go over. One of these games, OKC is just going to make everything, and especially at home, Memphis is probably due for, a 109, 110, something. You lose by 20, 130 to 110. But when you have that many chances, 493 and 496, and you're only scoring percentage-wise 42.8 and 43.8% of those points, it's not indicative of what I see here. Oklahoma City could have so much more. Memphis could make a couple more shots. So 228.5. The fact that the odds makers have they've really left this total in the same place where they started it, right? I have to go back to game one. Game one was 231.5. Game two closed 230. Now we're looking at 228.5. I think this thing gets over, Skee. I think this is a night and Memphis could quit. If it's a 20-point Oklahoma City lead late in the third, Memphis could just be like, you know what? Have whatever you want. And OKC won't stop scoring. That reserve group comes off the bench and they'll just continue to score. So I did play. I played over 228.5 here. I probably got to the table a little late because we could have got 227 early this morning. But I still think 230 or more are going to be scored here.
And you're trusting Memphis a little bit there with the full game total. But I do think OKC can score. I definitely do. My bad, you guys. Veno, I'm actually gonna kick this to you because I desperately need some water. Nuggets and Clippers did go up a little bit on the side and down on the total. How you viewing this one?
Okay, so I played LA in this one. I started off this way, Skee, and it's an very old NBA playoff handicapping theory, but everybody's heard it. Role players play better at home. And here come the Clipper role players. They're tied 1-1 in a series that's been a virtual standoff. But I'm going to tell you what their reserves have done. And they depend on their reserves. It's not like they put guys in for 7 minutes that they don't need. The Clippers bench, the series again is tied 1-1. The Clippers bench has played a combined 133.5 minutes in this series. 2 games, 133.5 minutes if you put all their bench guys together. It includes a 5-minute overtime. Okay. But that group has scored 27 points in 133.5 minutes. Come on. And now they come home and they're still 1-1. And both games were right there for the taking. And now you're going to come home and only lay 5. My feeling is the bench players will play better. The starters are doing their part. There's a couple other things that I thought would give the Clippers an advantage here. Denver at home got the benefit of the whistles. In both games, they had a double-digit free throw advantage. Probably changes here in LA. At least it probably closes up a little bit to where LA shoots almost as many free throws as Denver, if not more. And the Clippers just won that last game. Kawhi went crazy, of course. But the Nuggets were plus 18 on the boards and still found a way to lose. You out-rebounded the Clippers by 18. You're doing something really, really good. But they couldn't parlay that into a win. So all these things combined, I mean, if you get a little better bench production, if you get the free throw gap attempt-wise to narrow a little bit, if you get a little better rebounding effort, which they had in game one, the Clippers are shooting 49% for the series, almost 50% for the series, which is pretty damn good. So I think winning by 6+ isn't too much to ask here at home in a game that they really need. Denver's defense, I know during the season it was really poor, and here it looks a little bit better because the tempo has slowed so much. There's not a lot of opportunity in this series. But back to my point, maybe Denver's defense isn't really that good because they're giving up 49% in the series. So when LA puts it up, half the time it's going in. I like the Clippers -5 here.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. No MPJ probably for the Nuggets as well. Coaching disadvantage there as well. I could see the Clippers. They've been real good at home getting the job done tonight. So I would agree. All right, good stuff. We got through all 3 for today. That is 14 minutes for 3 games. Think we did a solid job. My bad. Move it over to best bets. Veno, I'll ask you if there's anything you would like to promote. And if you do have a best bet for the show, feel free. If you do not, it is okay.
I would just, again, I'm going to keep promoting this run, Skee. It's up to 43-15, 74% for 5 weeks now. Picked up over 50 units since St. Patrick's Day, March 17th. So again, if you guys are interested, my selection packages are over there at wagertalk.com. Of course, Skee always provides a link in the description so you can find me there. Best bet. I don't know. Cam Ward goes number 1 overall tonight. It's about 40-1, but Cam Ward's going to be your new quarterback for Tennessee. Just in case you want to start your NFL work early this summer again, Skee, you got Cam Ward throwing the ball there. But for basketball, I'm going to look toward the Clippers. I just think that that's a perfectly tailored spot coming back home. They went into altitude. The Nuggets probably played them as good as they could have and still only walk away 1-1. To me, there's some things LA can tighten up here and win by margin. So that's what I'm going to leave you with. I'm going to leave you with the Clippers -5 as best bet for today.
Clippers -5 for Veno. Good stuff. Haven't placed a bet yet today. Like I mentioned earlier, I have already Knicks -1.5 games. I already have Clippers to win the series at plus money. I don't necessarily have to get involved today. But I am leaning both of those directions. So I think I'll make my decision a little bit later. Sorry, I don't have a best bet for this morning's show, but Vino gave you one. So appreciate you, Vino, for coming through and sharing all the knowledge. Appreciate you guys in the chat for supporting the show, sharing you guys' knowledge as well. If you enjoyed the show, hit the like button for us. It helps us out. And subscribe so you know whenever this channel is live. Hank says stay off the cheese. Yeah, I had a lot. I'm not going to lie. You hear me dying here today. I'm dying, bro. I'm paying for it. I definitely got to do better. But I'll catch y'all with no OG crew today. So I'll be back here with Vino again tomorrow. And I'll catch you guys then. Peace.